2000 you put together. Did you know 2000 would be special? Did you know that team had the capabilities of getting to and winning the Super Bowl when you constructed that team?
No, I did not. I thought we were going to be good on defense. I didn't know where we were going to be at because we started off with Tony Banks at quarterback, and we had brought in Trent. I think, and now we were talking. I was doing an interview with a guy from USA Today. I think he was USA Today, and he talked about the momentum that was built in the 2000 draft. And the 2000, how we all of a sudden we got momentum, and the same thing happened in 2012. You get your momentum. I just think that team grew so close together, and we had an identity. We were going to play the way we were going to play on defense. We were going to do what we do on offense, and we had you in there, making the plays that you have to make, like you did against the Raiders.
Right.
All we needed was a couple of plays. You were that 3-point shooter, I guess you would say.
That's it.
And so yeah, but no, that was a special group. It was a special group, but I think the leadership of you, Rod Wilson, and Goose took those young guys, because Ray and Peter and all those guys and Dwayne, they were very young.
Correct.
But because of you guys, and you all had success, had won, y'all came in and showed those guys what to do, and they followed you all's lead.
Were you concerned that when we went to Tampa that Brian says, okay, I'm not going to have room check? Now, we didn't have room check all year. Were you concerned like, oh my goodness, these jokers ain't coming in. Ain't no telling what's going to happen. I just hope they show up on Sunday.
No, because I think, again, the leadership we had, y'all had control of that. Y'all had control of it. And if I could keep you guys from going out, then I knew the rest of the guys wasn't going to be going out.
That was the thing. You know what? I think the thing is that what I told the guys, I said, look, you better look around, because if you think it's going to be like this next year, it's not. Somebody's going. Coaches are going to leave. Players are going to leave. Free agency being waived. And you don't want to be the guy that says, man, I went to the Super Bowl. You want to be the guy that says, I won the Super Bowl.
There you go. Exactly right. It was, like I said, it was the leadership of that team, but we also had guys that were willing to follow you all's leadership. That's what won it for us.
Let me ask you, the recruiting process or the free agency process in 2000, why did you think you needed me? I mean, there are other tight ends available. You didn't necessarily need. What was it about me, my playing style? Because I remember, I want you to tell the story, and then I'm going to share another story.
Well, you realize we got Ben coach too that year.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yep.
Well, then we needed both of you guys. And what we were going to be, it was you, Ben coach, Jamal, Cadre, Pat Johnson, so
Jermaine
we
Lewis.
were going to beat up people, and then we were going to try to strike,
Right.
And so we needed you. You were going to be a mismatch guy, and Ben did all the dirty work.
Yep.
We know that. And he enjoyed it because he was getting a chance to play and win him another Super Bowl. So the pieces just came together, but we needed someone that the quarterback could trust, and they could trust you.
I remember you had the conversation with me because I flew back because Mr. Modell was down there, as I mentioned. Ray was going through his situation in 2000, and Art was already in Atlanta. So I ended up flying back with him, if I'm not mistaken, that Sunday. And I remember getting to the facility, and you were there, and he said, Ozzie, don't mess this up. I got him primed and ready for you now. You just don't mess it up. And I remember you and I, we went to breakfast we went to dinner that night. We had a conversation with the breakfast the next morning. And he says, now, we gonna do this. He says, I don't want you to change. He said, I don't heard, everybody done told me how you are in the locker room, you talk, how hard you work. He says, I want that exact Shannon Sharpe that was in Denver for the last 10 years. I want that guy to come to Baltimore.
Well, Shannon, that's what we allow you to be who you are.
You absolutely.
We're not a cookie cutter organization where, you got to wear a tie, you got to have a sport coat, you got to walk in here and you can't talk. No. We want every player that's a part of the Baltimore Ravens to be who they are, because if you're who you are, then it'll show itself out on the football field. It'll show itself in the meeting room. If you are who you are and you're not trying to be someone else.
Were you ever concerned because, in that playoff run, there was no love lost between us and Tennessee. Jeff Fisher and Brian Billick didn't care for each other. Our teams, Our players did not like them, and it's still that way to this day. And we definitely didn't like the Raiders. So were you concerned, like, man, this might be getting a little bit out of hand? They might be doing too much talking.
No, not with that. Well, because y'all couldn't out talk Brian. You know, the more talking that y'all did, the more talking Brian did. You know, and you know, I couldn't keep him quiet. You know, but no, you know what? And we had Steve McNair to come and play for us for a year, and we had a chance to talk about that. You know, about that rivalry that we had with Eddie George and that whole group, and then of course, you know, with the Raiders and that group. You know, but you know, hey, we were built. We were built to be able. If you look at the quarterbacks that year, you had McNair, Brunell, Cordell Stewart, Jeff Blake. So we had to have a defense because all those guys would take the ball down and go run with it. So we had to have a defense that could go track those guys down, you know, right. Keep them from getting that extra first down, you know, and keep a drive going. So that's how the defense would be. And offensively, you know what? Hey, with the quarterbacks that we had, you know, we had to play a game where we didn't put the game in the quarterback's hand. Right. And we needed somebody that could, you know what, the good thing about you, Shannon, and I can say this, and I don't give you too many accolades, you are a quarterback's friend, because they may not have to be very accurate, but you would make the catch for them. So, and we needed that. That's what, well, that was my job. I got the name Big Play Shay because we didn't need a whole lot. We knew early on, I mean, having the conversation with Brian, we knew if we could get up 10 and we didn't turn the ball over, you couldn't beat us. You were not going to drive the ball 70, 80 yards on that defense and get a touchdown. No. So if we got the lead and you didn't get a pick six or scoop and score, it was over. It was over. That was, and it was so enjoyable. And you know what? And that style of football still wins. Watch how the playoffs play out. You know, now we got some, you know, some athletic quarterback that are doing some things, but they're doing it with their feet and extending drives with their feet. But at the end of the day, you still win football games in December and January the way we won it in 2000. Going into the Super Bowl, you watched film of the Giants. You saw every game they played. You watched their opponents. Did you think they could beat us? No, I was skeptical. I didn't like the matchup from their standpoint, you know. But you have to play the game, right? You know, and you have to remember that was it Derek Brooks? Once we scored, they got a pick six too. I think. Mm-hmm. Am I correct? Yeah. Right. And so they got a holding call that got negated it. Exactly right. You know what? So otherwise, it would have been a tie game, I think, or close to being a tie game. Right. So you know that helped us. And then Jermaine, with the kickoff, gave us that, you know, you gave us that extra little push. And then that's it. I remember what Ray told you, hey, you know, hey, y'all got us 10, that was enough. And they went to work. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the thing. I mean, Ray was like, hey, I remember, and talking to Marvin, I mean, that might be a great, you look at that defensive staff with Marvin Lewis, Jack Del Rio, Rex Ryan, Mike Smith was on that. Mike Smith. Yeah. I mean, we go to the Raiders and we get up on, and we score on them because we scored 7-0. And I remember coming to the sideline and Ray and Rod, like, we going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, what you mean we going to the Super Bowl, man? This is the first quarter. They don't go to the Super Bowl. He's like, Shay, they're not scoring. I'm like, well, we going to the Super Bowl because we might not. Shay, I'm just glad you didn't get caught, man. I'm glad you didn't get caught. They couldn't catch me, man. You know, I turned them bowls on them. Look, you've been around the game a long, long time. Where would you rank that 2000 Ravens defense? We know about the 70, I think, 77, 78, 79 Steelers. We know about the 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens, the 02 Bucks, the what is it, the 14 or the 2012 Legion of Boom Seattle. Where would you rank as far as all-time great defenses? Where would you put that 2000 Ravens? Well, you know, if you go by Hall of Famers, you have to say the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they got maybe 5 or 6 Hall of Famers. All of them on defense. But, you know, as I said, as you and I talk about, you know, the tight end group, they all belong on the cul-de-sac. You know, a cul-de-sac, there's only so many houses and so many people can go on that cul-de-sac. You know
Correct.
what? So they all belong on there. I experienced the 70s with the Steelers and those guys and what they could do with Mean Joe and L.C. Greenwood and and
Mel Blount, Lambert, Ham.
Mel Blount. I still got pains from that. But hey, but those defenses that you talked about, they are in the 85 Bears. I played against that defense also. I'm gonna put them all on that cul-de-sac. You know what? And then if I have to choose which house I want to live, I don't think I'll be wrong by choosing any one of them.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before two something.